Hello and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. So today we're going to do another twist lying down as we did a couple of weeks ago, but it's a slightly more abdominal rotation this time. So still rotating the spine, still focusing on that same rotational movement, but with a little bit of an abdominal challenge to get the obliques working, which are the major muscles in our front, in our torso, that are responsible for rotation. So lying ourselves down, you can obviously put something behind the head if you need to support the head so the neck is long. Arms can rest by your sides and the legs are in what we call a tabletop position. So that means that the feet are about the same height as the knees or just slightly higher. And you want to feel all the way through this movement that the belly stays nice and flat. So your deep abdominals are drawing in around the spine to support it. So as we breathe out, we want to relax the ribs, scoop in through the belly, and then squeeze the knees together and take the legs to one side. And then as we breathe in, we're coming back through to the center. So breathing out, ribs relax, center engages, and then the legs squeeze together as they move off to the other side. So you're rotating from the waist, inhaling back to the center, and exhaling to the other side. And it really is that simple. So if it feels like it's a little bit too much load for your lower back, if you feel any discomfort or sense of work in your lower back, then you're more than welcome to imprint the spine, meaning getting that lower back flat to the floor. Of course, you do need to keep the belly flat, so if you feel that your belly is doming and popping up slightly as you twist, then this is still too loaded for you. In that case, another option is to bring your feet down towards the floor, and you can still glue the legs together very actively, imagining that you've got a bolt between the knees, running through the knees and running through the ankles, so that as you rotate, you feel like the feet are still together, the edges of the feet are still together, and you're resting on just the outside edge of one foot. So I've still got that work through my inner thighs. And again, I'm breathing in to come back through the middle and breathing out to rotate the other way. So every time I rotate, it's important that I feel that deep abdominal action, my deep corset muscles wrapping around the spine to support it. And I want to feel the rib cage stays nice and relaxed throughout. So there's one more thing to be aware of, and that's that if I go too far, my shoulders start to change. So one arm might come away from the floor, or one shoulder blade might come away from the floor. But what I want to achieve is stability through the shoulder girdle. So I could alternatively do it in this position with the arms raised, knowing that my arms aren't moving and my shoulder blades are still wide and heavy on the floor. And if I've got the arms down, the feeling that I have is that I'm not going to go so far that this opposite shoulder blade comes off the ground. I want to keep that down so that the ribs can stay relaxed and the shoulders can stay nice and stable and broad. So you can perhaps do about 5 or 6 of those to each side. And if you feel you want a little bit more load, then another option is to use one of these, a softball or something similar, and you can place that in between the thighs or the knees, squeezing the feet together still, and trying to really squeeze the thighs together. It's as if I'm trying to pop the ball. For me, there's a lot more work if I put the ball between the mid-thighs, not the knees. So that gives me a much greater sense of work through those inner thigh muscles, and that helps feed up into my centre and into my obliques. So same again, squeezing the ball fairly firmly, exhaling to rotate, and inhaling to come back through to the centre. Yeah, so that just gives you a little bit more work. If you don't have a ball, just squeeze the knees together like you're trying to hold on to something, or possibly even put something between the knees to hold on to. And a lower load version, as I mentioned, is to have the feet onto the floor. So another twist for you, but this time one that's going to get that midsection working a little bit more. Enjoy. See you next Wednesday.